Now that we've gotten our download keys from Itch, we can pull these into a Microsoft Word mail merge template. And Microsoft Word is actually pretty easy to do this with. Making layouts in Microsoft Word is a little bit more of a challenge. But if you already have a template with a layout set up, and it's relatively easy to get your mail merge working. So really all you need is we're going to copy our keys, and we've got two files that make this work. We've got a CSV that's called coupon code data. And this is where we're going to stick our keys and our game information. So let's open that up. We've got two columns in it, game and download key. I'm going to paste that and call this, so the name of my game, the gulf between them, for these download keys. Paste it, save, great. And now we're going to pull these into the Microsoft Word template. Now, let's open that up. And the first time it opens, it's going to say, hey, we're trying to connect to this CSV file. Do you want to do this? And the first time you open this, it's going to try and do this, but it's going to fail. And the reason is because it's looking for the very specific path that this template was originally linked up for with the mail merge. But fortunately, it's really easy to just reconnect your template to the CSV or a new CSV wherever it is on your computer. It doesn't really matter what you select right here, but what we will do is I'll kind of show you what will happen if you don't already have a path set up after we go through the main creation. So let's just say yes for now, and this pulls up our template. And there's a few key things to note here. If we pop over to mailings, what we've got is you have a bunch of options up here, and this is how you actually go about setting up and selecting your mail merge. Now you can see if you select insert field, right now I'm connecting to that CSV already, but you're not going to have the benefit of doing that right away. So what you need to do is when you first load up the template, you're going to say select recipients and separate and select use an existing list. Now you're going to look for that CSV file where you've saved your coupon codes to and open. And now what will happen is when you select under this insert merge field, you should see the column headers for that CSV displayed, and we already have them inside our template here. If you were building a new template, you could really easily just insert a new merge field. So let's say you added a new column with author in it. You'd see author displayed here, and you could say, for example, I'm just going to modify this slightly, say by, and then you would click here and click the author column, and it would just insert it like that. But we're not doing that for now. We're just going to use the template as is. And what this will do is a few quick things to look at is we have the game column header, we've got the download key column reference. There's 6 of them in here, and then we have this next record field. Now you'll notice that we have next record, next record, next record, all except for the last one. Now the reason is, by default in mail merge, when you go between pages, it switches to the next record. So it assumes you're going to have one row in your CSV, that first row for the first page, your second row for your second page, your third row for your third page. So it changes to the next record for each page. But if you insert this next record key, you can then force it to jump ahead by a row. So this basically says pull in, this is my first page, pull in row 1, game, the value in that game column, the value in download key column. Now jump to the next record, come here, pull in the row 2, game column, pull in the row 2 for the download key column, jump to the next record. And then when we get to the last one, when it switches to the next page, which would be our second page or third page, it already assumes the next record. And so you don't want that next record field in there for the last item. Otherwise, what it will do is it'll skip over one of your rows, and you don't want that. One of the nice things about Microsoft Word is you can actually preview your results, so we can click preview and actually see those keys get inserted. Now, it does start getting weird if you try shuffling between pages, so don't worry too much about that. The main thing you want to focus on is check the general results, and then we're going to come to finish and merge and say print documents. All, okay. And then we're going to go ahead and say, let's go to print to PDF. Okay. And we're just going to say itch codes demo. It's printing, and if we pop over to our folder and we open itch codes demo, there we go. We have our download keys created. Now, I only used 6 codes. If you had 12 codes, it would go across 2 pages. If you had 18 codes, it would go across 3 pages. If you don't fill up by perfect sets of 6, that's okay. What it will do is it will actually fill up as many as you have, and then just leave the last one blank. So, for example, if I go back to my CSV, now here's something important. I have this template open. If I open up the CSV again, it says it's locked for editing, and that's because I have the template open. Now, if I go ahead and close this template, I can open up my coupon code CSV, delete a couple rows, pull open the template again, and now it's going to pull, right now it's saying that it's locked because I have it open in Excel over here. I'm just going to say go ahead and pull in a read only. That's all right. And you'll see that only the first 3 have a value filled in the preview. And that's because I only have 3 rows. So that's really nice. It'll just automatically do that. And in fact, if you have more, if you were to say, hey, let's go ahead and not do that, let's go ahead and pull this into and add another 3 rows just to see what happens. So we're going to say up to 10, or I guess it would be 9, so 1.5 pages worth. And if I check preview again, right, it's going to be a little bit confused. I have to reload it. Don't save. Open again. It's going to yell at me again. As always, that's all right. Saying I can only open the read-only copy. That's fine. And come to mailings, and you'll see I have it fully filled up here. Now, again, like I said, previewing gets a little weird, so don't worry too much about that. But let's hit finish and merge again. We're going to print this to PDF, and we're going to call this demo 2. And remember, this is with 9 keys now. And you'll see that now with those 9 keys, it goes across, the first full page is filled, and then it goes across to the second page. And leaves, since I only had 9 keys, the last 3 items on the template are blank. So feel free to mix and match, play with your own things, but hey, now I could just print this out, cut them out, and I can stick them in my game as like a bookmark or something like that. And that way anybody that purchases a physical copy at a convention, at a booth somewhere, some sort of expo, even just like somebody who I just run into and buys a game off me, I can also provide them with a digital version of the game. They can go onto Itch, and what's neat that way is then they see my Itch account and they can go ahead and follow me and check out the other stuff that I make. So I hope that's helpful. One final thing to show what happens, when we don't have the CSV here, I promised I would show you that. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and created a copy. And this is the experience that most of you will have when you first open this template. And that's because, well, you don't have the path set up already. So let's go ahead and delete coupon code data. Oh, it's open still. Sorry about that. Let's close it. So I'm going to delete the coupon code data. This is the file that this template is hooked up to. Now it's going to try and hook up to it again. But now it doesn't exist. Cannot find its data source. So I can just hit find data source, go back to where I have that data source located, and it should just work on right through for you. If it doesn't, then you can again click select recipients and then use an existing list, and it should work just fine for you.